Boker Tov. Good morning.
Shalom, good morning, Boker Tov. We are going to continue with Parshah Vayeitzei, the second part. We're going to finish chapter 29 and read chapter 30, yeah, willing. So let's begin with the blessing for the Torah. So let's open with the blessing, right?
Baruch et Yahweh HaMorah. Baruch Yahweh HaMorah Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Yahweh Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Yahweh noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. Okay. So we're going to be in Beresheet, chapter 29, verse 31. We read up to 30. So we're going to begin at 31. 29, 31. And I'm going to share my screen. So we've been reading about Jacob when he goes to Laban's house. He goes to Laban. He's running away from his brother Esau. He meets at the well. He meets Rebecca. Okay, Rachel, sorry. Rebecca's his mother. He meets Rachel, and Laban tricked him into marrying Leah. Okay, he worked he agreed to work for another 7 years. He only worked a week, but he agreed to work for 7 years, and then he married Rachel as well. So now he has Rachel and Leah, and now the chapter that we're reading begins the whole race between Rachel and Leah to have children. So I'm going to share my screen here. And we are on chapter 29, verse 31. And I'll just begin the audio.
וירא אדוני כי שנואה לאה, ויפתח את רחמה, ורחל עקרה. ותהר לאה ותלד בן, ותקרא שמו ראובן, כי אמרה, כי ראה אדוני בעוניי, כי עתה יאהבני אישי.
Okay. And Yahweh saw that Leah was unloved, and he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, for Yahweh has looked on my affliction, because now my husband is going to love me. So let's look at the word here for Reuben. For Yahweh has looked on my affliction, so he has seen my affliction. Okay, let's continue with verse 34.
ותהר עוד ותלד בן, ותאמר, כי שמע אדוני, כי שנואה אנוכי, ויתן לי גם את זה, ותקרא שמו שמעון. ותהר עוד ותלד בן, ותאמר, עתה פעם ילווה אישי אלי, כי ילדתי לו 3 בנים. על כן קרא שמו לוי.
And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, because Yahweh hath heard that I am unloved, and he gave me this son too. And she called his name Shimon. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, now this time my husband is joined to me, because I have borne him 3 sons. So she called his name Levi. Okay, let's look at the name here. Shimon. Okay. because Yahweh hath heard. She said that she is unloved. So hearing, Shimon hearing, sounds like Shema, right? And the other one is Levi, attached. She said, because my husband is joined to me, attached to her. Okay, and one more verse on this chapter.
ותהר עוד ותלד בן, ותאמר, הפעם אודה את אדוני, על כן קראה שמו יהודה. ותעמוד מלדת.
Okay. And she conceived again and bore a son and said, now I praise Yahweh. So she called his name Yehudah, and she ceased bearing. Okay, and Yehudah, here. She celebrated. Said, now I praise Yahweh. So now she rejoiced. Yehudah means celebrated. All right, and we're going to go to the next chapter. Do you have any comment?
Know how women are always, craving for that affection, that acceptance from the husband, that love, and Leah is not different.
Right. I agree. So we're going to go into chapter 30. Okay, chapter 30, verse 1. And let me make this a little bigger. Is that okay? Or that might be too much. Huh? Okay. Chapter 30, verse 1, and we're continuing with the race for the children. So here we go.
ותרא רחל כי לא ילדה ליעקב, ותקנא רחל באחותך. ותאמר אל יעקב, הבה לי בנים, ואם אין מתה אנוכי. ויחר אף יעקב ברחל, ויאמר, התחת אלוהים אנוכי, אשר מנע ממך פרי בטן.
And when Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said to Jacob, give me children, or else I am going to die. And Jacob's displeasure burned against Rachel, and he said, am I in the place of Elohim, who hath withheld you the fruit of the womb?
All the matriarchs were barren, and Abba had to open their wombs, all of them. And also Miriam, she was conceived in a way from the Ruach, and she had a marvelous childbearing. So all the matriarchs and all the women, or most of the women, that had supernatural children, were barren in a way.
Okay. We're on chapter 30, verse 3. We're going to read 3, 4, and 5.
ותאמר, הנה אמתי בלהה, בוא אליה, ותלד על ברכי, ויבנה גם אנוכי ממנה. ותיתן לו את בלהה שפחתך לאישה, ויבוא אליה יעקב. ותהר בלהה, ותלד ליעקב בן.
And she said, see, my female servant Bilhah, go into her and let her bear for me, and let me be built up from her as well. So she gave him Bilhah, her female servant, as a wife, and Jacob went into her, and Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son. Okay. So, and then I just wanted to point out Isha. Jacob. Isha, so for wife or woman. Okay, and we're going to continue with verse 6 and 7.
ותאמר רחל, דנני אלוהים, וגם שמע בקולי ויתן לי בן, על כן קראה שמו דן. ותהר עוד ותלד בלהה שפחת רחל בן שני ליעקב.
And Rachel said, Elohim hath rightly ruled my case, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. So she called his name Dan. And Rachel's female servant Bilhah conceived again, and bore Jacob a second son. Okay, let's look at Dan. So that is the first of Bilhah's sons, meaning judged, right? Because she said Yahweh has rightly judged my case. Okay, and continuing on.
ותאמר רחל, נפתולי אלוהים נפתלתי עם אחותי, גם יכולתי, ותקרא שמו נפתלי. ותרא לאה כי עמדה מלדת, ותיקח את זלפה שפחתה, ותיתן אותה ליעקב לאישה.
Okay. And Rahel said, with great wrestling, I have wrestled with my sister and I have overcome. So she called his name Naphtali. And Leah saw that she had ceased bearing, and she took Zilpah, her female servant, and gave her to Jacob as a wife. Okay. So the second one of Bilhah's children. So Bilhah was Rachel's servant, and she had two children. Right? She had Dan and Naphtali. Here, Naphtali meaning wrestled, because Rachel said, I have wrestled with my sister. Okay, wrestled with her sister and overcome. Okay, so now Leah wants to do the same, right? And she gives Zilpah to Jacob as a wife. Continuing on.
ותלד זלפה שפחת לאה ליעקב בן. ותאמר לאה, בא גד, ותקרא את שמו גד.
Okay. And Leah's female servant bore Jacob a son. And Leah said, with Gad. So she called his name Gad. Okay, so let's look at Gad's name here. With fortune. That's what it means. With fortune. Okay. So she called his name Gad. Okay. So we're going to go to verse 12 and 13.
ותלד זלפה שפחת לאה בן שני ליעקב. ותאמר לאה, באושרי, כי אישרוני בנות, ותקרא את שמו אשר.
And Leah's female servant Zilpah bore Jacob a second son. And Leah said, I am blessed, for the daughter shall call me blessed. So she called his name Asher. Okay, and let's see. Asher, meaning happy. She said, I am blessed. Okay, 14 and 15.
וילך ראובן בימי קציר החיתים, וימצא דודאים בשדה, ויבא אותם אל לאה אמו. ותאמר רחל אל לאה, תני נא לי מדודאי בנך. ותאמר לך, המעט קחתך את אישי, ולקחת גם את דודאי בני. ותאמר רחל, לכן ישכב עמך הלילה תחת דודאי בנך.
Okay. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found love apples in the field and brought them to his mother Leah. And Rachel said to Leah, "Please give me some of your son's love apples." But she said to her, "Is it a small matter that you have taken away my husband? Would you take away my son's love apples too?" And Rachel said, "Therefore, let him lie with you tonight for your son's love apples." Let's see here. So this translation that I'm reading in the scriptures, it says love apples. Okay, here they translated it as mandrake, and in Hebrew it's judaim. Okay, so a mandrake. All right, judaim. Judai, I guess Judai singular and judaim for plural. Okay, and
there is a comment about it. It says that this plant was once believed to have magical powers because its root resembles the human body. Wow, interesting.
all right, let's continue with the reading. Let me share my. Okay, and we'll continue. So, verse 16.
ויבוא יעקב מן השדה בערב, ותצא לאה לקראתו, ותאמר, אלי תבוא, כי שכור שכרתיך בדודאי בני. וישכב עמך בלילה הוא. וישמע אלוהים אל לאה, ותהר ותלד ליעקב בן חמישי. ותאמר.
Okay. And when Jacob came out of the field in the evening, Leah went out to meet him and said, "Do come into me, for indeed I have hired you with my son's love apples." And he lay with her that night. And Elohim listened to Leah, and she conceived and bore Jacob a fifth son. Okay. Verse 18.
אומר לאה, נתן אלוהים שכרי, אשר נתתי שפחתי לאישי, ותקרא שמו יששכר. ותהר עוד לאה, ותלד בן שישי ליעקב.
Okay. And Leah said, "Elohim has given me my hire because I have given my female servant to my husband." So she called his name Yissachar. And Leah conceived again and bore Jacob a sixth son. Okay, so let's look at Yissachar. He will bring a reward. Okay. Because she says, "Elohim has given me my reward." Okay, continuing.
ותאמר לאה, ותני אלוהים אותי זבד טוב, הפעם יזבלני אישי, כי ילדתי לו 6 בנים, ותקרא את שמו זבולון. ואחר ילדה בת, ותקרא את שמה דינה.
Okay, so her sixth son, and Leah said, "Elohim has presented me with a good present. Now my husband is going to dwell with me because I have borne him six sons." So she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bore a daughter and called her name Dinah. Zebulun, the habitation, because he's going to dwell with her. And then we have Dinah, which means justice. We're on chapter 30, verse 22 and 23.
ויזכור אלוהים את רחל, וישמע אליה אלוהים, ויפתח את רחמך. ותהר ותלד בן, ותאמר, אסף אלוהים את חרפתי. ותקרא.
Okay, and Elohim remembered Rachel, and Elohim listened to her and opened her womb, and she conceived and bore a son, and that Elohim had taken away my reproach. Okay.
אלוהים את חרפתי, ותקרא את שמו יוסף, לאמור, יוסף אדוני לי בן אחר. ויהי כאשר ילדה רחל את יוסף, ויאמר יעקב אל לבן, שלחני ואלך אל מקומי ולארצי.
Okay. So Elohim taken away my reproach. So she called his name Yosef, and said, Yahweh hath added to me another son. And it came to be when Rachel had born Joseph, that Jacob said to Laban, send me on my way, to go to my own place and to my land.
It's interesting that at the minute that Joseph is born, that Jacob says, let me go.
Yeah.
It's like a sign to him that he should move away.
That's interesting. Okay, let's look at Joseph. I believe it means increase. Okay, so let him adding or increase, right? Okay, and let's continue on. So we'll finish the chapter and then continue with more detailed comments.
קנה את נשי ואת ילדי, אשר עבדתי אותך בהן, ואליך, כי אתה ידעת את עבודתי אשר עבדתיך. ויאמר אליו לבן, אם נא מצאתי חן בעיניך, ניחשתי ויברכני אדוני בגללך.
No fast, okay. So he says, let me go to my land. Give me my wives and my children for whom I have served you, and let me go. For you yourself know my service which I have done for you. And Laban said to him, if I have found favor in your eyes, please stay, for I have diligently watched that Yahweh has blessed me for your sake. I want them to stay with it, right? And we're going to hear 28 and 29.
ויאמר, לא קבץ שכרך עלי ואתנה. ויאמר אליו, אתה ידעת את אשר עבדתיך, ואת אשר היה מקנך איתי.
And he said, name me your wages and I give it. So he said, you know how I have served you and how your livestock has been with me.
You notice how Laban, he didn't care about the family or because he loved the children. He says, because Yahweh has blessed me because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So always the money.
We're going to hear verse 30 and 31.
כי מעט אשר היה לך לפני, ויפרוץ לרוב, ויברך אדוני אותך לרגלי. ועתה, מתי אעשה גם אנוכי לביתי? ויאמר, מה אתן לך? ויאמר יעקב, לא תיתן לי מאומה, אם תעשה לי הדבר הזה, אשובה ארעה צונך אשמור.
For the little you had before I came hath increased greatly, and Yahweh hath blessed you since my coming. But now when am I to provide for my own house too? And he said, what do I give you? And Jacob said, give me not. If you do this for me, I shall again feed and guard your flock. And then he's going to tell him what he wants. Verse 32 and 33. The terms of his employment.
עבור בכל צונך היום, הסר משם כל שא נקוד ותלו, וכל סחום בכסבים, ותלו ונקוד בעזים, והיה שכרי. וענת בי צדקתי ביום מחר, כי תבוא על שכרי לפניך. כל אשר איננו נקוד ותלו בעזים, וחום בכסבים, גנוב הוא איתי.
Okay. Let me pass through all your flock today, removing from there all the speckled and spotted sheep, and all the black ones among the lambs, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and these shall be my wages. And my righteousness shall answer for me in time to come, when you come concerning my wages. Every one that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and black among the lambs, it is stolen if it is with me. 34 and 35.
ויאמר לבן, כן, לו יהי כדבריך. ויסר ביום ההוא את הטריישים העקודים והתלויים, ואת כל העזים הנקודות והתלואות, כל אשר לבן בו, וכל החום בכסבים, ויתן ביד בניו.
Okay. And Laban said, see, let it be according to your word. And on that day he set aside the male goats that were speckled and spotted, and all the female goats that were speckled and spotted, every one that had some white in it, and all the black ones among the lambs, and gave them into the hand of his sons. Okay. 36 and 37.
וישם דרך 3 ימים בינו ובין יעקב, ויעקב רואה את צאן לבן הנותרות. ויקח לו יעקב מקל לבני לח, ולוז וערמון, ויפצל בהן פצלות לבנות, מחשוף הלבן אשר על המקלות.
And he put 3 days' journey between himself and Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flock. And Jacob took for himself rods of green poplar, and of the almond and chestnut trees, peeled white strips in them, and exposed the white which was in the rod. Okay, and then I just wanted to point out the word, I just saw it. Oh, okay, roe. Okay, so as tend, pasture, it can be a shepherd. Awesome.
Grace.
Okay. Good. All right, verse 38 and 39, and we're almost done.
ויצג את המקלות אשר פיצל ברהטים בשיקתות המים, אשר תבונה הצאן לשתות לנוכח הצאן, ויחמנה בבואן לשתות. ויחמו הצאן אל המקלות, ותלדנה הצאן עקודים נקודים ותלויים.
And he set the rods which he had peeled before the flocks in the gutters in the watering trough, where the flocks came to drink, and they conceived when they came to drink. So the flocks conceived before the rods, and the flocks brought forth, streaked, speckled, and spotted. 40 and 41.
והכסבים הפריד יעקב, ויתן פני הצאן אל עקוד וכל חום בצאן לבן, וישת לו עדרים לבדו, ולא שתם על צאן לבן. והיה בכל יחם הצאן המקושרות, ושם יעקב את המקלות לעיני הצאן ברהטים, ליחמנה במקלות.
Okay. And Jacob separated the lambs and made the flocks face toward the street, and all the black in the flock of Laban, but he put his own flock by themselves and did not put them with Laban's flock. And it came to be, whenever the strong ones of the flock conceived, that Jacob placed the rods before the eyes of the flock in the gutters, so they would conceive among the rods. And 42 and 43.
ובהעטיף הצאן לא ישים, והיה העטופים ללבן, והקשורים ליעקב. ויפרוץ האיש מאוד מאוד, ויהי לו צאן רבות ושפחות ועבדים וגמלים וחמורים.
Okay. But when the flocks were weak, he did not put them in. So the weak ones were Laban's and the strong ones Jacob. Thus the man increased very much and had many flocks and female and male servants and camels and donkeys. Here you have meod, a lot, and again meod, a lot and a lot. So very, very much. Increased very much. So let's go to the beginning of the chapter and comment on anything here. Oh, good morning, Noi.
Good morning.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning and let's comment on this. Hello. All right.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Boker Tov.
Okay.
Boker Tov.
I was gonna say how like when Leah says, is it a small matter that you have taken away my husband, that you also take away my son's mandrake or Judaim? And I was thinking how like every person has like a different perspective of looking at the situation, right? So like for us, it kind of seems like Leah took Jacob, even though he was going to marry Rachel, right? Rachel. But from Leah's point of view, it's like she sees it as her sister taking away her husband. I thought that was interesting. People have a different way of looking at things. And then okay. Some people have commented negatively that Rachel like told her, okay, well then that means that you can be with him this night because I'm going to take your son Judaim. I forgot the word. Judaim, the mandrakes. Some people have seen that like negatively, as if she was like not
coercing or
no, like if she was not valuing the time with her husband or something like that. That's how some people have commented like that. Commented about that. So then we have all the children, okay?
But we can see how important it is for those generations to have children. It was a blessing to have children, and they were really, really striving. They were really wanting to have those, babies, those children. They considered, a woman that was bearing like a curse. So having many children was the true way to show that you were rich.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then so apparently like some of the children that came from the servants that came from Bilhah and Silpah, they weren't like as like righteous as the children that came from Leah and Rachel. There's one tribe, I think it might be Dan from Bilhah, who is not mentioned in Revelation when they name how many people from each tribe. I think they say like 1,400, right, from each tribe, and that tribe is not mentioned.
Well, what the comment is that they ended up being super idolatrous, and that they were in a way absorbed by the world, but that only a remnant, has been left from that tribe.
I think it's 12,000.
12,000. Thank you. 12,000. Okay, and then we're talking about the part where he talked with Laban about his wages, and they decide which animals are going to be Jacob's and which ones are going to be Laban's. And Jacob asked him for the ones that are least
Spotted.
Yeah, the spotted ones, the ones that
the black ones.
that
It's interesting because all this time, Abba Yahweh, from him it's everything or comes everything, and he gives the blessing to whoever he wants to. You know, he makes those vessels of destructions and vessels of blessing, and because he knows the kavanah, the intention of the house, of the heart, the lev. So it's important that people say, "Oh, that's not fair," you know, giving him so much. But actually, practically, Laban had used him and kept him like a slave. He says, "Hey, I need to have something, you know, an inheritance for my own children."
yeah. I mean, he worked for, or he's been with Laban and worked with him for right within at least 14 years, but probably a lot more because his children are growing up very soon. So he said that he gives the animals into the hands of his sons. So meaning that they had to be old enough to be able to take care of the animals. So he's been with Laban for a long time. And all this time Laban hasn't given him basically anything. He said, when am I gonna do something for my home? And he hasn't given him anything. Right? This whole time that he's been with him.
They're taking advantage of him.
And even though it's his daughters and his grandchildren.
I
I
know.
was like, wow. That's interesting about his character. So, and then Yahweh gives him wisdom to know how to work with the animals so that they multiply, and he becomes very, very great. And that just goes back to the blessing that Yahweh told him that he was going to be with him, bless him, and give him. He would be with him and bless him, and meaning
and a very
monetarily too.
important blessing that withstand all the way to this generation. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. You know, there is a president that cursed the people of Israel from his being, and he contracted a cancer exactly from there, from his guts. He says that he hated them, and that's how he died. So we see that blessing, it's still going. All the nations that had come against Israel somehow had been in a way, you know, punished or received that uh, curse for cursing the people of Israel. So we have to be careful who you curse or who you bless.
Do you have any comments, Noi?
Well, I think that Laban, it seems like he's not so in touch with the Torah, and he doesn't understand the principles of that, of blessing and cursings, and he looks like he's just trying to manipulate the situation whenever he can in his favor. He's not relying on Yahweh to bless him. He's thinking physically. If I have more sheep, then I'm blessed. If I have more,
Well,
livestock,
workers.
yeah, he's trying to use. Um, he looked at it as an opportunity. He said, "Hey, I have these two daughters, and the man that comes for them, I'll make him work for me for them, and you know what I mean." So it's the way I see it. It looks like he's trying to use the situation to his advantage. Like he doesn't have a whole lot of faith, in him being blessed any other way, and instead of saying, hey, this man is a man of Yahweh, and Yahweh cares about him, and it seems like it seems like if I were, instead of thinking, well, if I were to bless him, and then I will find favor, and I would be blessed, instead of thinking that way, he says, well, let me try to take the blessings for myself,
Yeah.
and well, he's it seems he's untrustworthy, and deceitful in various ways, and and in the end, I mean, yeah, it makes it all work work for good, for
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 those
his
who love
people,
him.
yeah, for his people, and so yeah, I think I mean, I came in a little late, so I didn't hear everything.
No, don't worry.
Well, I believe it's the same situation we have nowadays. People wanting to have the blessings of Yahweh. They know that the blessings come from Him, but they don't want the responsibility or the part, the prayer, the time with Him, the reading of His Torah, which is life right there, and the lifestyle that He wants you to carry. By this Torah you will live. Not just it'll bring life to you, but it'll be a lifestyle. So they don't want that. They want to live that like the world, but still have the blessings.
Yeah. And the other thing with the name, and I think the name for the children, and I think I saw a study about the name, how it's all like prophetic, how all the names kind of tell us what's going to happen. If I find it, I'll share that on Friday. Okay, and chapter 31, which we'll look at on Friday, is Jacob deciding to separate from Laban, and we'll see how Laban reacts to that.
Not very happy.
So we can.
Here goes my slave. What happened? Ay, ay, ay.
So we can say the blessing to close.
Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Yahweh, noten haTorah. Amen.
So I hope everybody has a very blessed and lovely day, and shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Be a light and salt of this world today. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.